Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're gonna be a slightly spicier person after watching this video. Getting a co-worker to humiliate himself. The only thing Croatian about me is my last name. I don't speak Croatian, my old man was a third generation American and didn't speak any either. We always had steak and fries like any normal red-blooded American. I'm half Spanish, French descended Mexican and I speak Spanish fluently, having lived in Mexico City and Tijuana. As you can see, I'm far from being a Croatian. Anyhow, that day I was working as a new marketing manager at an engineering firm in San Diego, working mostly on proposals. It consisted of coordinating between different engineers, ensuring compliance with RFPs, maintaining formatting consistency, and so forth. There were no standards in place, so I designed a few templates, programmed macros, and hotkey commands to expedite the formatting part. What usually took an hour now took a few minutes. I also bumped into another Croatian who just moved in from there, but he was a little disappointed I didn't know squat about Croatia. He became more condescending towards me. The Croatian informed me of an upcoming proposal and gave me 3 hours to do the formatting. I continued working on the previous project in the first hour, since his stuff would take less than 10 minutes. He came back to my office and looked at the computer screen to see that I wasn't working on his proposal. He threw a crap fit, screamed at me, told me I would be directly responsible if we lost money, and he had the audacity to email everybody in the office not to distract me because I was supposed to be working on his stuff. His stuff only took 10 minutes and he was shocked. I didn't need an hour or two as he initially thought. The incident solidified my resolve to make his life a living hell. The Croatian came from what used to be Yugoslavia until a civil war erupted in 1991. Like the other Croatians, he lost everything except his charming personality and his 2 doctorate degrees from a university in Yugoslavia that was prominently displayed on his wall. Not only that, he took great offence to people calling him Mr. instead of Doctor. While handing over the 2 doctorate degrees to be scanned, he implored me to be extremely careful, as obtaining copies were not possible from the university. He didn't know that I had just gotten a colour laser printer for my marketing stuff. It was expensive back then, and I was the first to get it. I scanned both doctorate degrees and printed both in the colour laser printer. Both looked exactly like the originals that were safely on the desk while I put the 2 copies between the wheels of my chair and the plush carpet, repeatedly scooched back and forth on my chair to create a noticeable crease. I then went back to his office with the 2 creased copies. He wasn't in his office, so I left the copies on his chair. Not more than 5 minutes later, a very audible Croatian accented "I'll kill him" came from the hallway. I swear, he sounded like Count Dracula with his thick Slavic accent. Then came the angry pitter-patter of his feet rapidly marching towards my office. I placed the 2 originals on my desk right when he barged in, causing my door to bang on the wall. His eyes darted over to my desk where the 2 perfectly intact originals were. Innocently, I said, "I left the 2 copies of your degrees on your desk to see if you were satisfied with the quality before I put the image in the proposal." The commotion he created had my boss coming in 10 seconds later, screaming from the bottom of his lungs, "What the hell is going on?" I shrugged. "You'll have to ask him." Teens mock me and my brother's English in Italian. TLDR at the bottom. The cast. Me, I, me, whatever. My brother is my brother. Entitled Teen 1, Laura. Entitled Teen 2, Natalie. Any names of the story have been made up for simplicity and safety. The background. 4 years ago, my family and I were spending some time in Naples, Italy. We were staying with some relatives who lived in Italy, and all of us were pretty fluent in Italian. Every year, there's a small amusement park the town sets up for the kids to enjoy after taking a stroll through the town and watching the small concert. After taking a bit of a walk, me and my brother decided to head down to the park and ride a couple of rides. This is where our story begins. This story. I had just taken my seat with my brother on a smaller but still pretty fun ride. As we sat down, a group of 2 teenage girls, who I've named Laura and Natalie, come up to us and demand we get off the ride. Our ride attendant quickly ushered the 2 girls off the platform before I even said anything. The ride begins, and swings around for a couple of minutes. After the ride stops, we hand our second set of tickets and prepare for round 2. Laura and Natalie find an empty seat in the bench behind us. At first, they don't say anything, and the ride gets pretty fun. So of course, being 2 rowdy American teens, my brother and I start yelling in English at each other as we flung around. This is when the mocking starts. Laura and Natalie both take turns mocking everything we say in English back in Italian. I understood every single word they said. I couldn't say anything to my brother without them yelling back what I said in a mocking Italian voice. The ride eventually stops, and I proceeded to get off. As I hop off, I turned to the now laughing teens and said, "I heard you loud and clear," in Italian. The look on their faces was priceless. I walk away feeling pretty smug, of course, and decide to grab myself a nice cold cola to celebrate. It may be petty and pretty cheesy, but it was worth it. This is just one of the reasons I'd love to learn another language and just like eavesdrop on people. That sounds a bit creepier than it's meant to. But there's a YouTuber I watch who's a polyglot and can speak so many languages, and he goes around the city talking to people in everything from Japanese to Arabic. It's awesome to see the look of shock on people's faces as he starts talking in their native language, and he just does it so flawlessly. It's amazing. Impatience never pays off. The store I work at has a single occupancy bathroom in the back room for employee use. We can use the public restrooms, but the private one is understandably more popular. I was in there earlier today taking care of business, and noticed the toilet paper was about all gone, just enough left for me to use. On top of being the responsible thing to do, stocking and cleaning the bathrooms is one of my job duties. So I was going to get more toilet paper when I was done. I was having some, let's say, issues, and I was in the bathroom a bit longer than I usually would be, maybe 10 minutes or so. When I finished, I opened the door to find one of my co-workers waiting outside. Said co-worker is, to put it bluntly, a witch. She's never said one nice thing to anybody in the 3 years she's worked there, and takes every perceived slight and minor inconvenience extremely personally. So I come out, and co-worker scoffs and mutters, "Finally." I started to say, "Could you hold on 1 second while I get some more toilet paper?" But only got as far as, "Could you hold on?" before she pushed past me without a word and slammed the bathroom door. I thought to myself, okay, have fun, and went back on the floor. I was up by our front desk getting a drink of water and talking to the lead cashier when co-worker walked up to me a few minutes later, a little red in the face, and said, "When you get a moment, could you refill the toilet paper in the employee bathroom?" I replied, "Oh sure, I was gonna do it before you went in, but you must have really needed to go. By the way, what did you wipe with?" Co-worker flushed a darker shade of red and walked away, and lead cashier gave me a half-hearted lecture about how my comment was inappropriate. I don't even want to think about that question, but my mind immediately thought to check if she was still wearing both socks. Best served cold. This is my first post, and after going over this story with my mum, I decided to post it here because there was revenge and it was petty. When I was growing up, I had an aunt that would never give me gifts of any sort on my birthday or Christmas. When I was 10, I asked her why that was, and she said, "Because I wasn't at your baptism." I later found out, 5 years later, through my dad, that the reason she didn't come to my baptism was because she didn't want to, and she thought it wasn't important enough. I was getting punished by her for her being lazy. Now the revenge. After getting my first job, I decided to get my family gifts for the holidays. As I was going through the store, I called my dad and asked him what kind of things each of his siblings, Aunt was his older sister, and their significant other liked. He told me, and I got all the stuff for the gifts except hers. On Christmas Day that year, I presented the gifts to my family. When Aunt noticed she didn't get one, she asked me in front of everyone where hers was, and I said, "I only got gifts for those that came to my baptism." A quick edit, some wanted to know her reaction. She actually looked down with a face of sadness, but still does what she does, and so do I. My dad said to not get her anything till she apologises for all those years, and I'm still waiting. It's been 8 years. Oh, that would have been so satisfying to say, and on Christmas. But seriously, how petty is it of the aunt to exchange gifts with family except for one person because she decided not to attend an event? She sounds like the kind of person that's just tolerated. Owner threatens lawyer, so I shut his business down. For 2 years, I worked at the local ice cream shop. It made good money, but I absolutely hated it because the owner and co-workers were so awful. In the middle of my second year working there, I got another job in retail and I would work both. Retail job put schedules up early, so I just put in my availability for the creamery after that schedule came out. Labor Day weekend was coming up, and it was a busy day for both the creamery and the store. The store put the schedule out early as usual, so I put down that I couldn't work at the creamery that day. A bunch of my co-workers did the same, for no reason other than to get drunk and party. I got a text from my boss saying if I don't come in that day, I'll be in a lot of trouble. He doesn't listen when I say I'm at my other job. After a heated argument, I quit on the spot. In a way to vent how much I hated the place, I posted on my Finsta, a fake Instagram, used as a place to vent or complain or share funny stuff, about how much I hated this place and how I'm so glad I finally quit. Someone screenshotted this and sent it to the owner. I get a call from him threatening to get a lawyer about this for slander. Everyone knew this was a bullcrap call and nothing ended up happening. Either way, I was really upset. Fast forward a few months and I'm sitting at home thinking about the man and wondering what I could do to get back at him. I remember overhearing from one of my ex-co-workers that there was a bug on a cup, gross, and they served ice cream in it anyways. I filed a complaint with the health department. They got a surprise visit from the health inspector who, within minutes, shut down the creamery for the day. It turns out they had a roach infestation, along with 4 other health violations. Disgusting. My friend shared the health inspection on Facebook along with a long paragraph explaining how nasty it is, and it gets over 300 shares. They're back open now, but business truly is not the same, and they might have to close down because of the bad publicity it got. Ooh, this is like PettyRevenge with the possibility of going pro. The seeds have been sown. I might have to check up on this account in a couple of months or so. Okay, so that's all for r/PettyRevenge. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!